This past year marks the 20th anniversary of the 2003 Hulk film. I figured I'd show a tutorial on how to make a decent Hulk cosplay just kinda in honor of it. So let's get started. You're gonna take a large, long sleeve white shirt, glue a bunch of foam to it, and then start gluing a bunch of green fabric to it that I got from a bunch of oversized green t-shirts. Here's to show just the process of gluing them all down with spray glue and even some hot glue, just to show the detail. Next, I took some liquid latex in thick globs and tried to cover up the seams of it as much as possible. Here's a test fit of how it looked. This is the first layer of liquid latex I decided to paint on. Then I decided to take a bunch of napkins to give it a skin texture and paint all those on too. I only did it in certain sections on the back and on the front. There's a little hemp and neck collar piece you're going to make later. This is a bunch of painting and shading and detail. I decided to redo the hands because I didn't like these, so I decided to take a mannequin hand, wrap a bunch of cellophane and foam on it to bulk it up. I undid the edges and unfurled them. You can kind of see what I'm going for here is bigger than my natural forearm. I painted a bunch of latex onto the glove and onto the part of the forearm. Here's how I did the fingernails with some craft foam and some cotton balls, just formed them that way. This is the finished product of how it looked, and a few more layers of liquid latex mixed with paint this time. Some of the cellophane wrap and duct tape will come off with it once you're trying to form it, but that's fine. Just add some Velcro to the sides and reinforce it with some more duct tape. Here you can see the green makeup I bought online. I'm trying to test it with the green paint just to see how well it would match up, and it looks like it'll do pretty good, just comparing it with the green of the t-shirts. So here I am building up the facial prosthetics with just toilet paper and liquid latex on top of a sculpture I had made. That was the finished product after I had just gotten done painting it. Here you can see me starting to glue down the hair and the eyebrows. Here's the wig I started to use. Decided to glue that down. I decided to glue a few pieces to the very front of it just to make it look more natural, like it was actually there. I also trimmed the eyebrows finally. At this point, I decided I didn't cover enough of my face, so I decided to sculpt some ears real quick and paint them on and attach them with more liquid latex, and here's a test fit of how it looked. Here's the collar piece I made just by wrapping some duct tape around the mannequin and the suit. I carefully peeled it off. It was just a few layers of liquid latex and some cotton. You really want to be careful when you peel this off, but once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. I made the big foam feet first just by carving them out of a giant block of foam, gluing them to some cheap PJ pants I found, adding more foam muscles and wrapping them in the same green fabric I had already used. Decided to get rid of the seams just by doing the same liquid latex method with thick globs of liquid latex just all around it. Finally glued down the pants to cover most of it so I don't have to use so much green fabric. And I also finally decided to start skinning and painting the feet and also doing detail on it. The feet are open at the bottom, so you can just use your regular shoes. That's what it looks like. Here's a final look, and here was a test fit of everything all put together. This was just a mobility test. I ended up making sure areas were covered up more with a white torn up shirt. Here's the final product so far. This is the makeup process. I glued down the neck collar piece first, covered up my ears with some band-aids.
Oh yeah, this is sexy. This is happening.
Next was gluing down the prosthetic pieces, then the face paint, then more face paint, and it was done. This was a fun costume, but looking back on it, I'd say it was one of the worst I had done just because I couldn't reuse anything. After this outfit was done, I had to throw the whole thing out. In the future, I hope to remake this suit with something more simple.